Right, welcome back to turn 67 of the attack for heavy hitters. All eyes really on the right here. This half track here is actually kind of okay. I mean, the driver's jumped into the gunner's seat, which is no help to anybody. And to my surprise, though actually I can't remember, we might have seen it a few 10, 20 turns ago, the rear of the half track is a lot less bulletproof than I was thinking, and you know, these GIs here are just shooting straight through the back armour. And of course, the Pixel Truppen being Pixel Truppen, they've decided to stop instead of getting to cover, because the Pixel Truppen kind of struggle with knowing what cover is sometimes. But the Tiger's up front. The AT gun down here, we want to smack that up, knock it out, kill the crew, drive them off, and then the rest of this infantry we should be able to roll up. The friendly infantry is coming up in support, the Panzer Grenadiers. But for the time being, it's just the Panther, the AT gun, and that enemy infantry there. In the village, we should be getting some smoke starting to fall. The flak wagon is opening up on these buildings here. Once we get a decent amount of smoke, we can start pushing up these half tracks, and we'll start trying to push into a bit further into the village. And then over on the left, I'm waiting to see what Titan does with the Jackson, essentially. So we know we have a single American scout up here. The Jackson looks like it's going to push around this way and flank the half tracks. So the half tracks are pushing it. There's some dead ground here that you can't quite see because of the angle. There's some dead ground here. They're going to slip themselves in there. If they're lucky, we might be able to machine gun the guy up here with the half track MG as well. But that's just to make it more difficult for the Jackson there. The longer I have it tied down on this flank, the happier I am, because I sort of know where it is and it's not really threatening anything. So yeah, let's press go and we'll see what happens here. So a shot from the Tiger straight up there. And that scout's popped back up. More flak fire over here. More casualties on the half track. More enemy infantry up there as well. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure if the Tiger is actually overshooting there. I'm going to have to take a closer look. And yeah, there's the Jackson back, keeping its distance, shooting the half tracks. So, yeah, and it's interesting how we lost the spot for the Jackson there. So there it is, driving around, and then we saw it for a little bit, and then the spot disappeared, and then it popped back up over here. Back in the centre of town where we last saw it, which is kind of interesting. So let's have a look at this left flank and see what we got first. So we've seen this scout, or the half tracks have seen the scout. Put some fire on him, and he stopped because he was on the hunt command. You can tell because he does the creepy walk. Now we're seeing some more infantry. That's a HQ unit of some description moving up. They've been spotted by the half tracks there, and our Holschneider, our lone survivor there, who has been snuffed out by the Jackson. And yeah, there we go. So these guys aren't reversing fast enough. The tracks are pretty damaged on these half tracks. Boom, there goes one. And actually now we can cross-reference, can't we? Because we know the Jackson killed that. And that's the size of the hole that you get with the Jackson. Let's go back to Lieutenant Gruber's burning half track. And Yes, that is the same kind of size of hole. So yeah, it was almost certainly the Jackson. We knew that before, but you know, these things are important to check. So yeah, the Jackson's polishing things off down here. That's fine. These guys are still going. They're broken now. Well, I think they were broken before, but we got an MG, an assault rifle, a semi-auto rifle, 3 Panzerfausts, and a load of hand grenades. That will do. You know, we can screw some stuff up with that. And we'll just check in the village. Oh, crunch, crunch, crunch from the 37mm there. And we're starting to get some smoke, but it actually might be quite a bit... It's quite hard to see the smoke here. So yeah, I might call that off and just go for the HE. Now let's see, what did we get over here? We splattered these guys, all 3 of them, the HQ unit. That's what the Tiger was aiming at in the last turn. And now it's putting the fire down on where the AT gun is down there. A bit of an overshoot because, you know, it's a tricky position to hit. These guys are busy shooting at those guys who are being stupid. There's the AT gun. The Tiger only had a target, or only had a limited target arc there. Target briefly. That's what I'm on about. So now that it's fired off its rounds down there, it hasn't actually seen anything. Now it's engaging these guys. Or trying to. It looks like it's mostly shooting at the ground just in front of it. Well done there, Tiger. Well done. But the rest of the infantry is moving up. Obviously they're getting a bit nervous because the squad down here is getting shot up. But hopefully these guys can regroup here in cover. Because once they actually get out the thing, they take 1 more casualty, don't they? But apart from that, you know, they run over this way, which is the terrible move. But they're getting back. They actually returned fire. Did he? Yes, he did. I'm sure it did. Yes, there we go. Some fire down on those guys. And then we can hopefully mop up this position. Okay, so let's shift the flat wagon onto a different target. Oh, it only has 13 rounds left. That's awesome. So we may as well carry on shooting that up. But yeah, let's start pushing these guys up here. Yep, that is out of ammo. And let's push this half track up here. It should be fairly safe, he says. Though we might get some fire from those buildings there, so let's put some suppressive fire on them if we can from the which buildings we're looking at. That one. Pity we can't target smoke there, but we'll put a bit of fire on that building. And yeah, actually, let's keep the smoke up because I want more smoke up there to help these guys push into the village. And then you, well, you guys, your best chance might actually be staying there and hoping that GCF goes away. But I think it's safe to say that you're doomed. You know, we had the option for an ambush there, like the little reverse slope anti-armor ambush, but seeing as though GCF, God, I'm getting these games mixed up. Seeing as though Titan's not an idiot, and it hasn't, you know, he's not being overconfident here. He's still playing by the, you know, protect your tanks with infantry rulebook. That wasn't going to happen. If we had a Panzer Shrek up there, I would have, you know, taken a chance. But we don't. Whoops, did I just... yeah, I broke off a scout team there, didn't I? Great. That's okay, we can run with that. The half-tracks can't quite see anything. Yeah, let's try putting some shots in from the Tiger here instead, because these ones were just overshooting massively. At least this way they might hit this tree, or yeah, let's, you know, this is a decent position for the AT gun. Though I suspect it was supposed to be aimed off this way. In theory, this is a fantastic position because you can cover the flank there, but the problem is with the weather being what it is here. Limited visibility, you can't actually see these half tracks, which I'm really quite glad for, actually. Though if the weather was different, these games would have gone very, very differently. Very differently. Especially, I would have thought my defence would have gone radically differently. But yeah, let's... yeah, it's going to be an action-packed turn next turn. Good or bad?